Welcome everyone to another version and hopefully one of the last versions of the Ironhorse pulling team. One thing I wanted to kind of put a little side note here. No, you will not see this thing running today. I'm still waiting on a couple fittings, but I think that'll be a video all of it itself. And this one could get a little long with all that stuff. So, but I will guarantee there will be a video dropped by next Wednesday of this thing running if everything is in line. So, kind of give you some stuff that we've done. We've got all the electronics ran. If you look down here in the front, you can see we have a crank trigger system. It runs with an MSD8 box. Over there on the other side, that's the fuel pump over there. It's a belt drive fuel pump. It runs off of 2 pressure stages for the pump. And then you have one set of nozzles that goes through the metering valve here. Then of course the air is metered with through the throttle body, and then we have the HX60 turbo. This is not nothing. This turbo is not a really expensive one. A friend of mine gave me to just get it going. We're hoping it's going to work. It checked out really good, and so I think it'll do the job. Will we be running the top? No, but I think it's gonna do the job, and the motor's gonna stay together. We got we could put in Manton push rods, which is the same push rods that the top fuelers used. We put in spark plugs, of course, with the methanol. And the spark plugs, we've already checked it with the coil box, and she's got plenty of heat, so she should light the fire. We got our oil system all done here. This is a Chaos block-off plate, since there used to be an oil cooler that goes there. Then we got a set of lines to run up the turbo up here and a return line, and then everything else goes down here to the fuel filter. And then there's also the, right there on the side there, the fuel filter. You can kind of see it hanging down there a little bit. That is the pressure valve, so we can adjust the oil pressure to try to get it up where we're wanting it. We've got the bell housing and the clutch and everything in it. And as you look down here, you can see it's kind of hard to see down in there, but we got the adapter shafts made, and the couplers, some SCS and all that, and it slid together really nice. I was really happy the way it slid together. On top of the motor here, we have the 6 EGT probes on top here. As you go down here, you can't see it very well, but that's where the oil pressure probe is, right off the oil filter base. We have an EGT probe, or this is actually a pressure probe for the drive pressure, the turbo. After talking to some fellow pullers, they say you need to move that. That'll melt. So we're going to get some oil pressure fuel line, or oil pressure line, some copper, and we're going to run that to the back of the motor here and get it away from the heat. And they said that should work. We got the exhaust all wrapped up here. Been working on the fuel system. That there is what they call interly boost valve. As this thing builds boost, this valve will start shutting, and then actually it puts more fuel to the motor. There's so much more to this alcohol system than I ever imagined. And as we come around here, you can see that each one of these here is set for different pressure. And then the bottom one is a return valve to the boost valve for the fuel. And actually there's a pill in there too. And I didn't realize I needed a pill in there. And so we got a pill in there. And then this is the boost line here off of the turbo. And this will go on this side, and as you build more boost, it'll push this over and put more fuel to the motor and take it away from the return. We have another return line here, and then of course we got another, it's around here somewhere, but we have another pop-off valve for that. I think it's right here. Yep, right here it is. These are just 5 PSI pop-off valves, and the only reason you run them on this here is that's to get the motor started, so it's not bypassing fuel, so you can get fuel to the entire system with these little 5-pound pop-off valves, and that's pretty much all they do, is just so you can get the motor started. As you walk over here, we call this the spaghetti factory. As you can see, we have our distributor down here amongst all this stuff, so if one of these hoses breaks, we'll probably have a barbecue. We have 3-stage fuel system. It's all interly through there with blocks. And it's like I said, there's quite a bit of stuff going on. This here is the boost gauge. This will send a signal up to the dash, tell us how much boost we got. Right down here we have the fuel pressure gauge. For the fuel pressure gauge, it all goes into this little box here, and we've got it all wired in to up here in the dash, up here to the 1-gauge dash system. And it's got 6 CGT probes. It's got your RPMs, full fuel pressure, oil pressure, boost, drive. The only problem is it's a little hard to see with the steering wheel in the way, so I might have to reduce, maybe move that in the future or do something a little different there, but that all looks pretty slick. Down here we have the brakes on each side and the clutch in the middle. I do not have the clutch hooked up yet, but then we have the shifter, and underneath that little box there is a reverse light. So we got all that done. We'll throw it in reverse here. Walk around the back here. We have our hitch all done down here. It's all bolted in, ready to go, set at 21 inches. Then I got this light here that we've kind of put in here. It's got a red in the center and a white on the outside. The white on the outside, if you look here, this little thing here, I'll pull it for you here in a minute. Let me get something to pull it with. Yeah, that won't work. Here we go. So the way I have this set up is it checks your ignition to make sure your ignition is working. This is wired up to the coil. So if the sled pulls, you'll see the white go out. This is a boat switch. It's like a tether switch. The red in the middle there, that is the backup, which you just see me just stick it in reversed. So this will kill the ignition if the sled operator sees something wrong. And as you see, the white is back on. Plus, it gives some light for the guys at night to get it in the right hitch and everything. So, but no, like I said, it's turned out really nice. And I know I said I'd have this thing running. Every time I think I got enough fittings ordered, I find I need more fittings or more pills. And it's just an ongoing process. But like I said, we're going to shoot for the 28th in Randolph, Iowa. If we don't make that, we will be at September 4th in Guthrie Center, Iowa to get this thing down the track. The hood's still being done at the body shop. So when the hood comes back, like I said, we'll get everything else put on it. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed this process, and I really enjoyed this process. I got a lot of satisfaction out of building this thing. We do got to get all of our throttle cables built yet, and so we're going to go next week and get them built too. So I hope to see everybody here in a couple weeks. Thank you.